Today on the Tim Marner podcast show, we've got our Andreana from Kyria Yoga Studio and our Nick from Self Cafe. What do we call it?
Self.
Just Self. It doesn't have to be anything, but you come in for a brew, get some potted plants apparently. Okay. Where's the potted plants come from?
Oh, he's such a cute guy. He is. So Potty is a guy that I've known over a year. He came to the old Self, did like a beautiful kind of ceramic, you painted your own pot. Even my daughter came, he was 5, and it was just gorgeous. So randomly last week he said, look, can I do a pop-up? I said, come down on Sunday. I was a little bit apologetic because I only do cake and coffee on a Sunday, no food. And I'm like, is there going to be enough people here? And he sold out.
Was it Rammers?
It was rammed. And it was amazing, great atmosphere. And it was just amazing to see him sell out, because there's nothing worse than inviting people down and it being a bit meh. But no, brilliant, a gorgeous day. And he's a beautiful person, so.
You two created something here, haven't you?
Yeah.
I hope so.
I seen it on Instagram, I was like, oh shit, I didn't see this coming. Where's this come from?
We didn't see it coming either, did we?
Did you not?
No.
Just trust the process and it just went, this is happening.
A yoga studio closed and it landed in front of us for both of us at the exact right time. If it had become available 2 years ago, I was not ready. I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah.
I would have been fearful. I would have had to find yogis. I would have had to do the grind that I've been doing in the last 2 years. So when it became available, I was like, oh my God, that's going to be mine. I'm going to have it.
Were you emotionally ready for that to come into your wheel?
Yeah.
So it found you at the right time?
Yeah, but I didn't know.
But you weren't looking?
Because when I came to you 18 months, 2 years ago, you were saying, get a yoga studio. Why? What's it look like?
How many times did I tell you?
So many times. You need a studio. You need a studio. In fact,
no, I'm not ready.
I'm not
fucking ready. I'm not ready.
I don't want one.
You're only ready when you're ready.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Tell me what's it look like? What's it look like? And I was like, black with gold on the walls. I don't want one.
No matter how good Zoom is, mate, it's just like when you're in your energy in person, it just, I knew that. And it's like you need a solid bricks and mortar.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you found it, honestly.
Well,
it found you.
Yeah. But so I knew I wanted the space regardless. And then I was just talking about me. I've been going to Nicki's on a Friday to Self, the old Self, every Friday for the last few months prior to December. And we've known each other for years. We've done stuff for years anyway. But I was like, have you seen Yom's come on? Has it come available?
I'm like, I've already messaged him. I'd already messaged the guys that own the building and I'd said, I want it. So I guess I was at a different point than Andreana. Andreana's obviously at the beginning of opening a studio, whereas I was about 3 years in to a space that had come about because can I get quite serious? Yeah. So I am. Can I? So I am a domestic abuse survivor. About 3.5 years ago, I escaped that situation. Self was something that I had to do. I was a single mum. I was homeless. I had nothing. So Self came about to not only to give back, because that's what I was doing anyway, but to save me. So I opened Self 3.5 years ago. I was then slightly in a vulnerable time going through family court, and someone said, you should go to a bigger space. I should never have moved to the bigger space. The small little tiny one that I had was perfect. It was womb-like. It got me through many an emotional breakdown. Moved to the bigger one, really overwhelming.
Where was the bigger one?
The one that you came to on Market Street, so the slightly bigger space, very expensive, slightly overwhelming, and really claustrophobic. And so I never really sat well within it.
How long were you in there for?
Probably coming up to nearly 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So the moment this building came up, I was absolutely ready to jump ship. But obviously, what was I going to go and do? This is what I love to do. You know, I still want to teach. I still want to run the coffee shop. It's a beautiful place for everyone to come. And we have people that come that might not even speak to anyone all day. And so they come there to speak and be.
Wow.
So when this building came up, I was like, right, I'm going for it. I didn't want to do it alone, though. And that was a big thing for me. I didn't want to be in this alone. It's really tough on your own. Business is fast-paced. It never stops. You go home, you have to shut your phone off, etc. And Andreana, the moment I said to her, I've already texted him, he said, well, I want it. And I was like, well, let's do it together. And let's do it in a way that it's our own separate businesses and we are in control of those things. But I know that she is upstairs and she knows I'm downstairs, and we could build on this and build more of a community space, and a space where people can literally
just be.
Just be.
Yeah.
And eat great food and do great classes and have a big bawly cry if they need to. And it
feels like that from the outside. It's not a place to come and do, it's a place to come and be.
Oh yeah, big
so
time.
you've accomplished that.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, Cell's been a place where I've literally crawled behind the bar, cried like a proper gut cry, and then gone, hi. Or I've not. I've come back up still crying, and people have... It is magical. And that studio as well, teaching in that... Oh, it's just... It's like this yummy, gorgeous space.
Yeah.
And I think you definitely make that possible, because you're right about having a space by yourself. Because that's what makes it special.
It don't matter how many people tell you that, do you? You've got to understand and believe that yourself.
Yeah.
And it's just happened, hasn't it?
Yeah,
it's just happened.
But at the right, like you said, at the right time, because I was in the hub in West Horton, which is a community centre, which has served the most unbelievable purpose. I've built a business there in a banging hobby place where you got kids having singing lessons, tap dancing next to a yoga class. Doesn't work, but people were still coming.
Yeah.
And they're not coming for the space, they're coming for the content. So that got me to a place where I believed that I could do it, because when I came to you to get my branding done, I didn't really know what I wanted to do or why I was doing it, but I found myself here investing in this thing that I still didn't quite know what it was.
Investing in yourself.
It was in me. But I just didn't even know why.
But I think that's all right, isn't it? And I think such a power in I don't know, that people, I want to do this, I want to do that, but just I don't know. I'm here. I don't know why, but I'm all right with that.
Love that.
Well, my thing has always been, every yoga penny I earn goes back into investing, whether it's in myself, going on retreats, trainings, etc. So then I had a little pot of money that you came into the thing, and then the little pot of money went down, and there wasn't much money. But I just think if you invest financially or time, emotionally in yourself, something's going to pay off eventually. And then, so that's why I was so ready. I opened the door and I didn't worry that no one was going to come in. The worry is now that it's not big enough. And
you're just living in abundance, aren't you?
And that's where it comes. And the abundance is, so the way I'm doing it is that I'm renting out the space to other people so that they can create their own business also, like I have done at the hub. Because you go to yoga studios, pay a teacher £25 an hour, £20 an hour, £35 an hour, but they've invested thousands of pounds, hundreds of hours in training and learning and creating their craft, and then to go and give them £25 for an hour whilst you get the 150, I don't think it's fair. So, but what I'm doing is allowing that people to build their businesses in that space, so that their success is my success is their success, and the abundance is just, and it's literally like I can't control it. And my thing is, I'm not chasing anything. It's coming to me. And so when anyone messages me, I'm just, come down, have a chat, let's see.
You never know.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got Pilates starting next week with the girl. She's already established a business at the hub also. She's going to split between the two places. And I've got yoga there. Nicki does Qigong there. We've got sound bath. We've got so much. And I'm open to anything. Anyone coming and using the space, as long as it sits with, it sits right with me, and it's
Yeah.
you know, it's not something that I don't agree with, then that's what it's about. And the more you give, the more you get, and it's just like, it's the abundance. It's been like my word of the last 3 months. It's mind blowing. It's amazing.
Mine's been
it.
survival. I'm just gonna.
Has it? Has it really?
Oh, I've been in survival for a long time, I think.
It's a
And
different
it's
scenario
a difference
for you,
because
isn't
it's just 0 to 100, and so I'm massively super grateful for what self is. It's unbelievable. It's so busy, and so you're in survival mode. Like, I get through the day, and then also being a mum as well. So I'm constantly like that. But I feel like now I've moved into this space, I can see the light a little bit. I can see the light at the end of that.
What is the light, Nick? What is, when you say you see the
Is
light?
investing back in me again.
Right.
Like, hugely.
Well, you said you wanted to be able to teach classes and not be a chef. You wanted to do this and not be a chef, and you weren't being able to do that.
Because I'm not a chef by trade. I love food, and I'm obviously trained to be able to make people food, but I'm not a chef in my core. That's not what I trained to do. I worked in fashion for 20 years. It wasn't, part of who I was. And then suddenly I'm stood there just making food day in, day out. So this now, to be able to move into that space, I can see myself coming out of survival mode now. I can see me camping at the top of Rivington. I can see those things, and being able to now teach properly, not from a place of exhaustion. Well, that's like everything. I stopped teaching. I think the last class I did was the one up at Farmer Strong, and I stopped.
Amazing class, mate.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
But I had to stop at that point because I was just in absolute burnout, and I can't give unless, I can't hold that space for people. So I said, right, I'm going to stop.
Would have never have guessed that.
Yeah. I mean, I still dance and I still move, and that's something that keeps me...
Do you mean the ecstatic dancing?
Yeah. Oh, it's...
Where the lights are off and you just...
That's super powerful for me. Not just for me, but I've watched that for other people as well. So I teach 5 rhythms. So 5 rhythms is 5 stages of rhythm. So it starts very slow and then it kind of builds up. And so you've got that kind of crazy manic part of your day. And then the final kind of 2 come down, and they call the last stage the death, because the old you is gone and the new you is through. And it's that euphoric feeling after. And that's something, especially over the last 3 years, that has been my saviour. And I've broke, which I want to break. And then I've come out the other side. And that dancing and doing it in the dark and being in your own body really doesn't give you much movement to not break.
It scares me that a bit, to be honest, and I don't know why. I don't know if my ego's like kind of going, that sounds stupid.
It's surface as well. We kind of stay here, don't we, a lot of the time.
What are you dancing like? Just free, however you feel?
So I'll actually say to people, it's the shame holds us back, which is something that we...
Yeah, I think that's why I can't do it. I'm trying to imagine myself.
Got to do that.
You're embarrassed, you've got
watching.
shame. Yeah, but I mean, imagine like my 6-year-old little girl, she dances, although there's elements just creeping through, so it starts young.
Older,
dances without any... She don't give a shit. She's just
inhibition,
like,
isn't it?
Yeah.
I think I could do it, right, but I feel like I could do it because I'm a bit of a clown and I like to dance and I don't give a fuck. But when the lights are off and I'm dancing for myself,
it's different.
And I'm like, oh shit.
It's a very different experience.
We've got it, when we're doing it and when we're moving that, what we've got to channel is anger. And so anger's like a bit of a poo-pooed emotion, isn't it? But anger's very relevant and it's a real emotion and we feel it. And it might be covering up for something else, but it's still a fucking... Can we swear? Yeah. It's still a fucking emotion. It's still there.
Am I allowed to do it?
Am I allowed?
Can I be serious? Can I swear?
Tim Marner podcast.
Don't fucking people please.
She's obviously never listened. She's obviously never listened.
You've not listened.
I promise. But yeah, it's a real emotion. So when we're doing a static dance, that middle chaos bit if we channel all that anger, that's when people get really emotional.
Oh, shit.
Because then it starts to bubble up.
Are you doing it yours?
No, I've only done it with Nicki, but what I would like to say is you don't just walk in and all of a sudden do the dance. There's a whole build up to it. There's like an hour's worth of work to be able to get you to be free to be able to do that.
Really?
Yeah.
So the whole,
other stuff.
I've not
Why
done
have I
5
not done
rhythms
that?
at the studio yet, but 5 rhythms is 2 hours of pure dance. So it slowly starts.
What am I dancing like? Can I just...
However you want.
See, that's the first thing you don't even think about it.
But everyone starts off really small. It's what I've noticed. Not that I'm looking at anybody,
Sidestepping.
but it's
I'd
everyone
be
starts off
concerned of
very
like throwing
small.
shapes. I'm like, I need to throw shapes. In
You do that if you want to.
No, but it's not right, that is it? I need to be free and not think
I think
about
if you were
what...
to see a video of me when I first started to now, it's completely different the way I move.
How can I see you when you're in the dark?
No, I do. I call it mirror work. So I do them on Instagram, but I watch myself. So that's almost like mirror work for me.
Oh my sweet God! I think that's worse than the dark.
I know. So have you ever just looked in the mirror? At your
I'm
eyes?
all right with that, but
Whew,
dancing.
It's tough. Doing it dancing, it's the same thing. So I don't obviously upload. I'll watch the video first. Then if I want to upload it, I'll upload it. But it's like mirror work again. I'm watching my body. I'm trying to. I'm seeing how my body moves. Who am I trying to be sexy for? No, it's for me, isn't it? It's not for anyone else. So then it's like moving in that way, feeling sensual, feeling like that I can just let go, reminding myself what my body is capable of as well. So when we move, a lot of people won't move their arms, and I'm like, no, move your arms, because they're like, whoa.
Yeah, but
Can you do that?
They start small, don't they?
Yeah, and they'll start very little. And then
That's me.
and then we obviously a lot of pent up stuff is in the hips, so we make sure we move in the hips, and it's very, very powerful, and it breaks you. Like you absolutely, whatever is in there, you break, and a lot of people will spend the rest of their lives not breaking, and that actually makes me really could make me cry, because I think that's really so sad that you could spend the rest of your life and never really feel what it's like to feel and to break, and then feel what it's like on the other side of that. Yeah. And it's different every time, isn't it? You can break different types of ways. And, when you said before about I don't know, we always want to name what's coming up, and you don't have to, do you? You don't have to know.
No, because it doesn't really matter, does it, in the end?
No, it doesn't. Who cares what it is? Could be from when I was 4, my mum stubbed my toe or something. And I was completely traumatised.
I had a Belgian mushroom experience that I was shown that I was nothing, and if I'm nothing, then I can be everything. And I'm like, ooh.
This is what I've been talking about this week in my yoga
I love
classes.
that.
Once you realise how insignificant you are in the world, you become more significant.
Yeah.
And I just did it. I did it on my Instagram the other week, and it got loads of attention. So I've been talking about it this week. I took my son to school with my turban on, because I was in between washing my hair and taking my son to school, my sunglasses on. I did it about 12 months ago, and he was like, you can't go like that, mummy, you can't, everyone's going to be looking at you. And he was hiding in the car, and he was like, they're looking at you, mummy. And I was like, who cares if they are looking at me? Because I'm just this tiny little speck. Why do I think I'm the centre of everybody else's universe when I'm not? I'm nothing to them. And then once you start to realise that you're nothing to anyone else and you're the centre of your universe, then you can do exactly what you like, and you can be a little bit eccentric, and you can do things like go to school with you. I mean, I didn't get out of the car with my slippers on and embarrass him or anything, but I don't care. But I see people dropping off 8:30, full face of makeup on, going home, not got a job to go to, but they're presenting themselves to the world in this way. And he doesn't care. It's just my mummy going to school with a turban on. He doesn't even flinch.
What a beautiful example to lead that.
Yeah, and he's such a beautiful boy. Honestly, he's such a dude. I love him. Yeah, he's ace. And he's got a lovely manner, a lovely way.
Something about
he's done a good job.
He's done it himself. He wasn't supposed to be here, and he's here. He came out 5 weeks early, and he has not stopped since. And there's something about that kid. But anyway.
I'll have you crying.
I think what's so beautiful about your space as well is there's some really beautiful feminine energy down there, isn't there? And I think a lot of people are sitting in the masculine trying to, you know, make things work and do, and we need to get out of this, but it's not where to be, is it?
Ooh,
it's to sit in that heart space and love each other and be compassionate for each other and connect and community, what you're saying, and
community.
Not better than anybody else. We're just like,
everyone's
come and use
like,
the space, come down to the space.
And do you know what? Everyone has a shit story.
Yeah.
Everyone has got something that they're, you know, they've been through or they're going through or they're living. And it's like, the more we talk, the more we open, the more we realise that everybody feels that, and everybody's struggling, like, you know, is not necessarily struggling, but living something. Like, God, I see it every single day. You know, there's moments where if I literally touched a customer's shoulder, like, I feel, you know, the holding on to that, and that is...
Yeah.
And it's silly, isn't it? Because we make sandwiches and it's a coffee shop. But in all the time I've been in hospitality, and I had the restaurant and then the coffee shop, and in all that time, it's so much more. Like, people need more. They need to be able to go to a space where they feel safe, or they need to go to a space where they just feel like they can be, or they need to go to a space where, do you know what? They might be going through, I went through IVF. They might be going through IVF, and that moment they tell me they're going through IVF and they're a little bit scared. And then I say, do you know what? I went through the same thing, and blah. And it just, this concertina happens, and you think, shit, like, life is real and everyone is living their own, you know, story. And
thing is,
I
as
hope
well,
that's what it does.
There isn't like a mould to walk through it for that place. It's everybody. It's a very eclectic mix of people. Like the studio before, they all look the same. They all perfect young girls from 20 to 30. All, you know, there was a type. Yeah. There is not one single type in the coffee shop or the studio. No. It's everybody, and that's the bit that I absolutely love about it. It's you've got grandmas going there, everything from that to that in between, and it's the whole mix, the hub of what we've got in Bolton and so on. But people come in from further afield as well, which is amazing, and no one would feel out of place in either of the spaces, and that to me is the most important thing, that no one thinks, oh, I can't go there, I'm too old, I can't go there, I'm too this, I can't go there, I'm too that. I'm here, and it's okay.
What I would say to that though as well is, I have the most incredible team, and I could not do it without them, and they work so fucking hard. Like, I know now they'll be like headless chickens.
Bloody Nicki, abandoning us to go on
And my mum she's 66, and my mum is there, and she will take, as much as it drives me insane, she will take her time with each table and have that minute with them. And again, like,
everyone's seen.
Yeah. And there's certain people that will come and go, is Janice in? I want to see Janice, because I want to speak to her, I want to connect, and I want to feel that vibe.
Shout out to Janice.
Janice is like everything.
She's a legend.
She really is. And can I tell Tim what we were talking about before?
Yeah, you definitely can.
What about?
The shipping containers.
Have you got fucking secrets, you two? You can't discuss this.
Well, I don't know if we get a chance to speak, so we just like...
We just had half an hour of like... Which bit? I was like, there's some bit. Kind of about that bit, yeah.
But there is something you can't talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
I
don't know what that
already.
is. I don't know.
Carry on.
So as a person in business now, in 2025, it's fucking tough.
Yeah.
So for me especially, I would love to give that opportunity to people that are starting out and want to have a space. Mm-hmm. So an idea that we had a couple of weeks ago, and I asked the guys that owned it, and they were like, yeah, go for it, is to put almost like a village. So the outside area is quite a vast space, So obviously I can only do a certain capacity. So a couple more tables for me and I'm done. I can't really, as much as people want more tables,
Yes.
we can't physically kind of accommodate it. So what we're wanting to do is to then put maybe half shipping containers, maybe full shipping containers, a little bit along, I used to have a space at Hatch, so we're kind of along those lines, but have cheap available spaces for people to come and do startups from. Like for me to be able, and sorry, for us to be able to do that, that's like not, how are you going to be able to go and rent a shop for less than like 800 quid or £1,000 now? So if you're someone that does maybe like homewares or plants or whatever, to be able to come and maybe rent a space for like 250. And we're in that position now because we've come in together to be able to do that, to be able to focus on that and not be so strangled by the rent. Do you know, like, that's what I felt like in the other space. Like, how can I even invest anything back in if I'm literally just catching my tail all the time and doing? So that is absolutely what we would like to do, is to create maybe 5 or 6 units in the outdoor space. Andreana is having one of them now as a recovery.
We're doing it together.
Recovery space, so hot and cold. So one of them will definitely be that, and then we'll look at possibly different therapies, maybe homework, like a quite quirky kind of gift shop, that kind of thing. But yeah, and then we've got a coffee roasters going in downstairs. So the guy that roasts the coffee will have the side room, and you'll be able to watch the coffee being roasted through a glass partition, which is just.
You two are killing it, aren't you?
I don't know if we're killing it. I just feel
you're
like
killing
we're just
it.
doing it.
We're laying the solid foundations.
Yeah.
Because people have said to me, "Oh, but it's off the road. It's off the high street."
Yeah, thank
You
God for
can't
that.
See it.
I
I'm
love
like,
that.
And
this is a
what?
destination.
Yeah.
We're going to make this a destination,
Amazing.
a place to come to where people are going to drive to come to be there, not just happen across it. They're going to come for a reason.
What do people love? They love a hidden gem.
That's
They like a hidden gem, don't
At the
they?
back of the car
Yeah.
park. There we are.
Commercial is not always,
Yeah.
you know.
People
Look at
build
Charlie.
it.
He's in the middle of a
Exactly.
farm. Do you know what I mean? Hidden gems are, you know, they think they've got that, it feels
Ownership,
like
yeah.
yours, doesn't it? I
Yeah.
found this place and it's
Yeah,
just up there.
exactly.
You know. And
But that thing, build it and they will come. I assume it doesn't happen and work all the time. And maybe our bubble will burst and no one will come to yoga, no one will come for coffee all of a sudden. But
you pivot.
We're
Then, don't you?
building strong, solid foundations. We're 2 months in. You're a month in. I'm 2 months in. This is just the seedlings, basically. And I can't even begin to worry or think about what's going to happen because it's going to blow our minds too much, I reckon.
It's fun though, like,
of course,
as
you just
stressful
gotta
it
enjoy
is,
it.
like,
just enjoy the
fun,
fucking thing. Man.
like you can, in everything you dive into. I mean, I'm a bit of a dive in and let's see, but that's fun. Like, what's the worst that could actually happen? You know, I end up homeless. Like, it's not. I'm never going to be at that point again. Yeah. So when you've been there, forward is always better. You know, so. Yeah, keep going.
Have you thought about putting retreats on and stuff?
I did just before I opened downstairs, we did, a friend of mine is the design director at Dare to Be, owned by Regatta. Yeah. And there was about 12 of them. Yeah. And we did they did some work stuff during the day, and then we did kind of sound baths and qigong, and we created like a whole day for them. But to be fair, that's how me and Andreana met.
I was going to say
that was our kind of coming
venture.
together. When I had the restaurant, I started doing retreat days, and Andreana was one of the practitioners that I said, "Will you come on board?" And that was it.
To be fair, actually, what happened was we went for a cold dip, didn't we, at the Secret Reservoir, which we won't tell anyone where it is because it's our hidden gem. And then we went for coffee at Spring Cottage, and we were saying, "Oh, we could have a retreat day, and we could do this, and this." And typical Nicki style, she went off and then she sold it out. Can you come and teach yoga on it? I was like, yeah, okay, then fine. She'd literally just give her an idea and she's mad.
It's fun.
And
It's like to be able to.
and it was just
do
coming out of
like-
lockdown,
yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then we had like 25 people cold dipping up at the
Yeah.
secret reservoir. That's a secret. And
You're talking like nearly over 4 years ago as
Yeah.
well, that.
and we had Thus Sunrise, and it was just brilliant. And then we had yoga, then we had food, and then there was a sharing circle, and there were all these things. So when we managed to catch our breath back, so I'm leaving the space available Sunday and Saturdays. So there's no class. I'm doing a Sunday sesh when I'm at home, and so I'm not putting pressure on to have a class all the time at the weekend. So Saturday and Sunday, the space is available to be able to host
Yeah.
retreats. The idea being you come, we do whatever, then you go downstairs and you have food, come upstairs and you do whatever. So we've got,
Yeah.
and then we'll have the recovery thing. And
I'd say from a retreat point of view, they're not soft.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
that's where you,
I-
that's
shall I be
where,
honest with you? I don't like the word retreat. If I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't.
I like the word
I
charge
know.
instead.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so I think it's a
recharge,
charge. Yeah,
recharge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
these are retreats where
yeah. You're not going back. You're not retreating from it, are you? You're like
No.
moving towards it. Aren't you? You've got to move
Yeah.
towards your problems. You
I
can't.
said retreat then again, didn't I?
Yeah, yeah.
These days
Yeah, yeah.
are to ultimately break.
And this is the thing. So that's why you then put your dance at the end, because you've had a cold dip.
Right, I mean, I'm booked. I'm
Everything's
done.
on the
Right, fine, you don't need
surface.
to sell it anymore.
It's
I mean,
all at the
I'm
top.
fucking
You've
there.
gone on this massive journey,
I'm
and then the next thing you know, you're like, yeah, I can dance with my
Yeah.
hands in the air.
And
But-
you're crying
Yeah.
and you're like fighting.
But that's because you've come over.
That's
so,
like,
yeah.
that's it. And then you break.
Nicki, it sounds awful. I don't even know why you're doing
Oh,
that.
it's so fucking good. It's
Fucking
so
hell.
good.
I thought mushrooms were hard, but that sounds even worse.
Mushrooms
Oh,
are
mushrooms
amazing. They're like
I
the
know,
best
but
ever.
brutally, like you're in
Yes.
your, and you're like dealing with some shit.
How much
But
are you
that-
taking?
I think the last one I took 7 milligrams.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Jesus, no wonder you were nothing
I
but
was out of
everything,
it
Jesus.
but my last one was the most beautiful experience I ever had.
Peaceful or beautiful, do you?
Both. I was lied there, mate, and I was shown so much love for myself. It was overwhelming. I was just tears were just falling everywhere. I could feel the vibration in my body, the vibration around me, and I'm just like, oh my God, I've just found.
How long
this.
did it last for? If you're on
Fuck me.
7.
I don't know, 9, 10 hours.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gone.
Did you do a gradual drop?
No.
Or you just went.
It was a proper ceremony with,
Yeah.
with my friend Sandra, 1-to-1. She just gave me the drink and she said, enjoy your journey. Music, drums, the full sound.
You've been doing it a while, haven't you?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
What
yeah.
did you start off at?
I
Like?
started off around 3, I think.
Oh, right, so you went in quite deep on
yeah,
that.
quite deep again, but the first 2 were horrible.
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell. I was like, second one I was there on my back, and I kept opening my eyes like that. I'm like, people were coming to take me somewhere, and I'm like, that's not fucking happening. My second one, I was in the end, I was in the fetal position, just crying. I could hear people laughing behind me, and I thought, oh, they're laughing at me because I'm like this shit that goes through your head. Just like, fucking hell, I'm not doing that again. And then the third one.
I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
But it's like you broke through the first 2. You broke through all of the.
It was like
the
it's
men.
like Jenga, and I've done counselling before, talk therapy, and they've pulled the third one out. Mushroom just went right to the fucking bottom
And
of
then
where
the whole thing's got it, yeah.
fuck
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So
Yeah.
the question now is, are you going to leave it at that because you've had that amazing experience and you don't want to not have it again because you're chasing that experience, or are
Yeah.
you going to do it again just to see?
I don't know is my answer.
Because for me, I feel like that just seems like it's unbelievable, and you should just like
Yeah, it was
It is,
all,
but there's
all the way
always
through it,
more
mate.
though,
For
isn't there?
8 hours,
Yeah.
9 hours, it was just beautiful. There were nothing apart from me, just pure love of myself. Dead proud of myself.
Yeah, well, that's
just,
making my
like,
heart
I know,
like-
mate,
yeah.
honestly, I was like,
Yeah.
my heart just opened up. And I felt like it's really helped my business because my heart's open, opportunities are coming in that I'd say yes to, where before I'd be like, I'm not sure about this person or whatever, and I'm like...
So also, I remember when I first met you, you were talking about softening your heart a bit more.
Yeah.
So that's nice. I like
Yeah,
that.
mate, yeah.
Yeah, I really like
It's
that.
like so many people I see, and fair play, they could read and they podcasts and stuff like that, But I'm like, are you doing the work? Are you actually doing it? It's all right, you're listening and hearing it and giving me advice from podcasts you're listening to, but are you doing it?
Yeah.
And it's so hard because, like you said, you've got to break yourself inside, haven't you? Shadow work, inner child, whatever you call it, whatever's cool
be
for
honest,
you.
like I had a lady who Julie's been coming to my class for a long time, and I'm not perfect. And she actually commented something. She said, "I feel so comfortable because I know that this is not about perfection.
Absolutely.
I am not, and we're always learning, aren't we? We're always seeing what's going, but it's, like, be real. There's nothing worse than walking in a room and you can tell the unreal person in the room, and I'm like, I turn the other way. I'm like, I can't. I'm at my no bullshit zone here. Like, I just can't do it. Like, you're either real with me or I can't. I can't. Just, like I said, we've all got shit and we've all got things that we hold on to. But what's that saying? Fake it till you make it. Oh, no thanks. No, thank you.
It's so hard, isn't it? I think just some people are oblivious to it though, aren't they? And if you give them the information and try and if you're oblivious to what's going on, it's just going on deaf ears.
You cannot, trust me, after teaching yoga for X amount of years, I do not try and get anybody I know to do yoga, because unless they want to do it, they're not going to do it. And when people come, I teach philosophy, but I teach it in a way that is relatable and modern, and I share my life through philosophy so that you can understand it. And some people don't hear anything. They don't hear, they're not open to it. And then one day they'll hear something,
boom,
drop, and then they're open to everything.
Yeah.
And then they're like listening to everything that you say, and they're up for it. And some people say, you could tell me to jump off a cliff and I'd do it because you've broken something in me. But if you try to give people the message, and it's not about giving the message, but if you you can't shove wellness and great vibes and goodness down people's throats.
Yeah.
Until they're ready to be open for it. And then they start telling you, oh, I've started doing this, and I've started doing this, and did you know this? And you're like,
but that's the joy of it, isn't it? Like, if I bring up to the plate my experiences and what I've learned, then it's just about hoping that they take some of that. What's the theory at the minute? It's like the let them theory. Just let them. Yeah. Let them. And when they're ready.
Yeah.
And that's all you can hope. Some people might never break, and some people might come to class and never dance. But that's something that they need to look at within them, and it's that shame that whatever they're holding, it's it might never leave. But they brought themselves to the class, so hopefully that's it.
Something's come to the class, something's come to the shop, and it's there for when they're ready.
Yeah.
It's brutal. The fucking thing's brutal. After that experience that I had, I feel like it's my podcast. I'm going to share my stories.
Yes.
After the podcast, I had this. I can have my arms going already. This thing, and I'm holding on to resentment to my mum here. I need to go and have the chat. So I sat her down. Probably will get upset, but
come on, you told me you wanted to open your heart,
So I said, look, Mum, I've had a healing ceremony, and it came up that I had a lot of resentment towards you, and I just want to say, I'm sorry, and I really love you. And she's like, I've just been holding on to that for fucking years, man. Just broke me. It broke her, but our relationship is so good now. I don't know. I must have been doing stuff, like maybe, she's fucking ringing again, or, all this shit that you make up. And I've got rid of all that. Yeah. The same with my brother. I texted myself when he sent me over an ep with each other. I've not seen him for years. Last weekend we went out and he shared to me some, I'm just going to fucking tell you off anyway. We went to boarding school, and the people who were meant to look after us, when I was naughty and stuff, at night, they used to put me in a cellar and make me stand up. And then before they leave, they used to turn the light off. And then they used to come back every half an hour to make sure I've not fallen asleep. But unknowing to me, my brother was going through the same thing. And last weekend, he shared these things with me. Fuck!
In all them years you didn't know? Oh, Jesus, that's a lot.
I'm just like, beautiful. We booked in to go to the Buddhist temple in Lake District now. We're going to start doing more things together, and I'm just like, fucking beautiful, man. It's brutal, it breaks you, it's like...
Do you know what? You should be so proud of yourself, because look what you just did.
Yeah.
Your relationships now are real.
Yeah.
Like,
Just,
they're not surface. They're like real, and you're able to connect now with them and have... But like I said, most people would never go and be that vulnerable, so well done.
You've chosen to go on that journey, but you probably weren't even thinking, I'm going to go on this journey so that I can find out this. It's the happenstance, and it's incredible. Yeah.
You just got to trust the process, I think, haven't you? And just kind of, you just got to do it for yourself. Like you said, just what a shame for people going all through this life and not,
I know.
you know.
And that kind of controlling anxiety that comes with staying in the masculine energy. Yeah. Oh my God, I've been in my masculine, like setting up the new space. Obviously, you kind of go into work mode, don't you? You're like doing. I have felt like sick the whole time, and I know it's because I'm in my masculine and I'm like holding on, and why I can't cry, and I'm crying out just to get in my feminine again and just soften, because at the moment you're in doing mode, aren't you? And it's like, that's not what life is about at all. Not at all. I don't want to control anything. I don't want to do all the time. I want to feel and connect and be like, you know, life is moving all the time, isn't it? Fucking fast.
Too fast.
So,
and you need to take those hour slots. You got to carve those hour slots or 8-9 hour slots out for yourself.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm always also talking about. You've made this time to be here. You've created this time, so use it for yourself and just try not to think about the other things, all the things that have led you here and all the things that are going to meet you afterwards. You've made this space, which is the hardest thing. Walking through the door for the first time, doing anything like that, that's the hardest thing. Now just be here and be and enjoy. The shit will be there when you leave. Just, this is now your time.
Andreana is the only yoga teacher in my whole life that's made me do it. And I mean, do it as in like, do that.
You've got really beautiful masculine energy about you, mate, as well as the other side. You've got a really nice balance, and I think, you know, it's nice because you give people a bit of a kick on the arse to do it, as well as...
That's why you need to come through.
You don't need to do it today.
You know what I mean? It scares me all the time. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I'm doing it now.
I'm not soft. I'm a mom, and I've got that soft stuff. But I'm a mum to boys. You know, I'm surrounded by masculine, and I've never had girlfriends really. I'm like getting girlfriends now for the first time in my life, because I never really had boyfriends. Friends. But I am more in my masculine, but not in a bad way. But the thing is, and this is what I say to people, you've also paid me money to come here to not change. Why would you come here and not put the effort in? Because you haven't paid me money to not change. So push down into the floor, squeeze your feet together, feel your inner thighs activated.
Get this shit done.
And basically, because otherwise you're just turning up. Put the effort in and make the changes. Yeah. And this is what I see people. I see people go to a gym, being a member at a gym for 5 years, paid $5,000 over that 5 years, but your body hasn't changed, your mind hasn't changed enough because you're just showing up.
Because like you say, you're running away from it.
I want to see people change their bodies. I want to see people be able to put their foot through to the front of the mat for the first time. I don't want people to not progress. My desire is for you to change your body, your mind, the way you move, to love being in your body. And I want to give you what I've got and what I've received. And I didn't get that from just going like that. I got it from putting my hands out. I had someone come to a beginner's class the other day, and I always say, imagine you've got ice or rainbows or fire coming out of your fingers. And this girl came to my class for the first time and she went, pew, pew. And I was like, this is my ultimate teaching moment. So then in my next class, I said I had a beginner, and she went, pew, pew. So I was telling everyone, pew, pew. So I was going, pew, pew. Because I'm also fun as well.
Yes.
But just, what's the point? And it's like people going to therapy or whatever and not really listening. And you've paid someone to
why
make
are you
a
going?
change.
Yeah.
So make the change. Do the work. It's just like coming to yoga.
Yeah.
But I see yoga teachers teaching a class but not even looking at the other people in the class. I'm insignificant in that room. You are significant, and I'm putting all my effort into you because you are why I'm here. So I teach in fire. A lot of my classes are quite fire, but I take you on a journey. So I use all the elements in my classes. So we start off quite softly, and then we build up, and then I go into the fire, and then we come back down again, a bit more airy, a bit more soft, a bit more flow, so that when my voice is more powerful, you're more powerful. If you're in Warrior 2 and someone's going, okay, bend your front knee, put your back arm up, you're just going to bow. I'm like, that's why you do it.
Yeah. From when I met you to now, though, you are definitely easing into your feminine energy. Like the different. Oh yeah, the difference is.
I'm
like
softening
huge.
because I also said to you,
She's much softer.
I took your words and I went on a retreat in Mexico and we did a cacao ceremony, and they said, what do you want? And I said, and I used your words, said, I want to soften my heart.
Yeah, you are definitely
but
much softer.
I had the ex-husband thing and all that, and that you put your barriers up, you put your walls up, because no one is going to penetrate me. No one is going to do that to me again.
Barriers instead of boundaries. Yeah.
Exactly, and that toughens you up. But people used to call me Andreana.
Did they?
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm going to be calling you from now on.
Don't you dare.
Fucking yes.
Absolutely.
But you're right, you put the walls
Can you cut
up,
that bit out?
No way.
I'm going to quote that. But I said to her the other day, so I said, someone called me Andreana the other day, and she went, yeah, but you're not anymore, are you? And I was like, guess it's getting.
No, you're definitely
Not angry
the
anymore.
difference is, but you do build walls up around, and you protect the heart, don't you? And then sometimes, you've got to let it out, let the vulnerability. Vulnerability is a superpower. We always say that, don't we?
What's that thing you did with us, Qigong, where I'm like fucking hitting myself? What's that?
So Qigong. So we do. So I teach dance, the ecstatic dance for 5 rhythms.
Why do you call it ecstatic dance? I just don't like the name of it.
No, I don't call it. That's not the type of movement I do. Mine's 5 rhythms, which was Gabrielle Ross. She grew up in the 70s in New York. She was a prima ballerina. She was like, I'm so fucking sick of people telling me how to move. I just want to move. And so she went to different tribes and kind of watched them move, So from that, I learned how to teach 5 rhythms, and then Qigong. So most people will just teach Qigong. But with me, because I trained to then be a trauma movement therapist and then 5 rhythms, I incorporate the 3. So Qigong is an ancient movement. It's within the yoga family. So you've got Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga. Qigong was used in the army. It was like a martial art type thing. But what they started to realise is that it releases emotion in the body. It makes the body stronger. But the main thing is that it released, obviously, anything that they were holding on to. So that's how I teach Qigong. So when we tap, Qi is prana, energy, inside and outside the body. So when we tap, we release any stagnant energy. We're cutting through the fascia, and all that kind of tingling effect you get from it, that's your life force coming back. That if we sit at a desk all day, or if we're holding on literally to the dear life, that's what we're releasing. And then the trauma movement therapy on top of that, the kind of...
Yeah.
So often what I'll say is, if people look absolutely petrified at this point where we're screaming and shouting, is to talk about the New Zealand hackers.
Yeah.
These are fully grown men crying and bawling and hitting and they're like moving and they're telling a story. So each time they do a haka, they're telling a story. It could be the death of someone, it could be even a celebration, but they're feeling that emotion is literally, gives me goosebumps. And that's what we all should be doing, is feeling, and we don't. So the trauma movement therapy that we do, each movement relates to a type of emotion. So I tend to do movements that attach to grief. And I don't necessarily mean like a death. I mean the grief of who we once were, the death of a job, you know. We grieve so much in life. For example, what you've just told us is such a grieving process to that. And so these movements release and kind of let us sit with that a little bit more. Talking therapy is unbelievable and it's amazing, but sometimes we've got to move it out.
Yeah, I feel like when I went to do the talking therapy, there were things that I didn't realise were bothering me that the mushrooms showed me. And like, well, I couldn't even talk about that because I didn't even know it was bothering me, you know.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes we don't know what these things are and where they're trapped or, you know, and movement and mushrooms and different types of, I mean, ayahuasca, that, you know, different things will help shift traumas, and it's all about keep digging. I know you said you didn't want to do mushrooms again, but maybe at some point you want to dig a little bit further.
I'm kind of like, ayahuasca, I don't know, you know, Kambo, I just like, there's things I'll just get presented. Yeah, I've done Kambo twice, love that.
Did you?
But it was really masculine. Yeah,
that's the thing that I was getting worried about.
Yeah.
Very tribal, masculine, like, at the end you just feel so light. You got all them blockages up.
Yeah.
I've got some really nice, I've had hypnotherapy done twice, once on the podcast, and that was really amazing.
I think I heard that one.
Yeah, really good.
And it's like a really deep meditation.
Yeah.
But, God, yeah. I've had it, David, who used to have a room itself, he's an amazing hypnotherapist and he's done it twice. But yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain it because you're in a meditative state, but...
See, that's what I was wondering. I was wondering,
I couldn't put my finger on it. Yeah,
it's like a strange feeling.
Yeah.
But it's about digging into it. Digging, like, keep going, like, you know.
Yeah, keep going, keep what's triggering you. Oh, what triggered me? I'll have a quick word and say, why did that trigger me later? And I'm like, oh, fucking hell. Is that the reason?
I know.
Do I need to look at that?
See,
now?
but what you've got there is awareness, and people don't have awareness of themselves.
Yeah.
And once you have awareness, then you've got the power to make the decision whether you're going to make the changes or you're going to stay the same. And that's what I teach a lot. And that's what yoga teaches. It teaches you self-awareness. But a lot of people just don't know how they act or how they're perceived in the world or what they've done wrong or why they react to a situation. And then once you think, once you become aware that you exist in this world, like we were talking about before, and you can make changes, then your world opens up to you, because you're like, when this happens, I do this.
Yeah.
If you don't become aware of it, every time this happens, you'll do this. But then you go, so next time this happens, I'm going to try and act differently. And if you haven't got that awareness, you're not making any changes. So you've brought this awareness into your life now, where you can...
But now you're being accountable.
Yeah.
Because now you're aware, you can now be accountable. So, you know, what have I brought into life and relationships and, you know, conversations where I need to be accountable for how I responded and how I, like, you know, with your mum, you were completely accountable. You were like, I'm sorry. But you wouldn't have that without awareness. So it's like it comes... It's a journey, like, I hate the word journey, but you know what I mean.
I wish more people had the awareness, you know, that's by you two having that space though, and they're coming down for a coffee, and then all of a sudden they hear somebody, and then all of a sudden it's like, I do that. Then they have a conversation, and then next thing you know, it's just got to make it. Yeah.
Like, even basic things, like, I know it, like, from a coffee shop point of view, but if we're, like, bonkers busy, and someone fucks up an order, we fucked up. That, even just saying that to a customer is so much better than trying to cover it up and making it worse. Just say, we've completely fucked up, I'll get it sorted, get it done. And people appreciate that so much more than faffing and saying, sorry, you know, and then nothing actually ever, you know, just be accountable. We're not perfect. Like, we're absolutely not perfect. And I fuck up orders all the time.
Yeah, the
People still come.
The only problem we've got is, obviously, I don't want you two to say anything, but I'm going to say it. The spiritual space, and it's just become very woo-woo, Crystal Ken, fucking conscious Karen, right? Making it, for these people who really need it the most, are not making it accessible for them, and it's doing me head in. Where you two are making it really accessible, the people who really need it, the word spirituality just throws them off because of these certain people. I'm like, spirituality is literally connecting with yourself so you can connect with other people. That's it, full stop, shut the fuck up.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's what you two have created, and this is what this is why I'm here to share this. So and people come down, I don't care what size you, what colour, I don't give a fuck. Get down and connect with yourself.
Definitely.
Ask yourself some questions, some hard questions if you want to go there, but ask a question first. Yeah. Nobody's asking themselves some questions, are they? They're just going to carry on, being angry, resentful, from a fear state. I don't feel safe, so everything I do, I'm going to put fucking something over my heart.
There's so many people like that.
Yeah.
So many. It's crazy. Like, I feel really aware of that at the minute. There's a lot of that. And it's because a lot of people, I don't know if it's a generational thing, but now it is time to look at yourself. Right now is the time to look at yourself, because it's not, no one's going to come and fix it. No one's fixing any shit anymore apart from yourself.
Was there a time where you couldn't look in the mirror?
Yeah. I thought I had my shit together.
Yeah.
I'd spent 20 years in fashion on all the time, constantly. I was a fashion stylist. I was never really at home. I was, you know, and I read all the books. Yeah. You know, I did all that. I read the books, and I thought I had my shit together, and I met somebody, spent 8 years together. We opened a restaurant, and this person slowly chipped, slowly, and I thought I really loved myself, and I ended up absolutely broken, absolutely. Every form of abuse happened, and I let that to a certain point, and that's the accountability that, you know, when people say, well, why don't you just leave? You can, because it's obviously much more to it, but there is a part of me that sought that. I sought that narcissistic person, and I had to really start from scratch and I couldn't look in the mirror ever. And then I think the last year I've held myself accountable for my part in that. I stayed, I had a baby, you know.
You worked hard to get the baby as well, didn't you?
Yeah, and she is everything. Like, she is, I look in her eyes and I want to give her everything I did not have, and every chance to never have to go through what I went through, and to watch her be so self-aware and so in her power is the most beautiful thing ever. And I make her look in the mirror and tell herself, I love you, and I can do that now, and no one ever gets to take that away from me ever again. But what my point was, because I'm waffling, but I try to work a lot on broken systems, so family court, the police, social services. I was with Fort Alice for a long time, who, unlike those guys, I mean, if you ever want to invest, they're doing amazing things. And I wish I could incorporate some of that into self? How do we fight these systems and make it better for women that go through it? Because what's happened is we've got this poster girl or man of abuse, and they're this cowering, you know. That was not me. I was strong, I was confident, I had a great job, I was travelling, and it happened to me. So it's that, I think it's seeing things from a different angle. I don't know what my point was. I'm like menopause right now. But
no, I think you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but I think you're creating that space for, just doing this podcast alone.
Yeah.
It's about spreading the message, isn't it?
Yeah.
And us all talking and communicating with community and, knowing that these women can come down and talk, and men can come down and open their hearts and cry and scream and
just every part of what I've just said is life. Like, there's not just me, there's so many. Andreana's got a story, everyone has a story, and if you all open that up, we all suddenly become human.
Yeah.
And then you're not a boss or there's no one really that scary in the world if you're all just human. Does that make sense? Like, if you all just break the bullshit away, what have you got to be angry about? If you're really digging deep, what have you got to be angry about? Life, it's worth it, isn't it? It is worth living. So
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Life is beautiful.
Yeah.
You just got to look at it through that lens and not another one. Too many people looking at it through a lens where they're the victim. And it's not. It's happening to me, not for me. And
major thing.
I think if you can really do that, and
obviously, I know what I've just talked, but God taking that badge off.
Yeah.
I know I am a survivor, but at the same time, I need to take that badge off as well. Like, it's not who I am.
Yeah.
And you posted something the other day. You're not your job.
Yeah.
I've all like, that's so in my mind. Like, you're not this story.
Yeah. This label.
Yes.
This limiting belief.
Yeah.
You're none of them.
No. You're none of those
You're just
things.
presence.
Yeah. And we've all got the badges, but once we take them off, that's when it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And we can use those stories for good, and that's great.
Yeah.
And we can fight certain things.
But this is what I spoke in my class last night, because I teach something called Inside Flow, and it's yoga to music, but we create a sequence throughout the class, but then we put it to a specific song, and then the song, we do it, and then there's a moment of storytelling, time for storytelling, where you put your thoughts and feelings and your intention behind the song. And I did it to A Million Reasons with Lady Gaga last night, and I spoke about the time when I split up with my ex-husband, and that situation, had that not have happened to me, it was horrible at the time. Had it not happened, I wouldn't be where I am now. And it happened for me for a reason.
Yeah.
And I thank him. And so now I thank him for the experience. I'm free from it all.
Yeah.
And I would not
I'm
have
like,
been
thank
as
God it's
exactly.
not me.
I wouldn't have been as happy as I am now. I know I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's taken me a long time to get to thank the situation, because now I'm free, and it's happened for me for a reason, because I've now got my gorgeous Xander, I've got my Dave. All right, your life is life, but things are good, and I've got my son, my eldest son, and I've got this studio, and I've got this community, and I've got this. No way on God's earth would I be in this room with you now had that not have happened to me. And that's what I try and share with people. If you are going through something, this moment of contraction where things aren't going well for you at the moment, it's for you. And there is a reason.
Sick.
And it will come out.
And
it's mint, that, mate. Mint.
Yeah.
It's like, what I do really well? I do really well stood alone in the dark.
Do you?
I do really well. COVID came along. I've been worse than this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I see people come upstairs, and I can feel it on them, and I know they're lost, and they kind of stood alone in the dark on their own. And I'm like, I've been here.
Yeah.
I can help you.
Yeah.
And I feel that's pretty much why I do what I do.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see people still alone in the dark. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah. So it happened for me, that.
You did. 100%.
Yeah.
Right. So if anybody wants to find about Self,
Yes.
where are we? Self West Orton on Instagram.
We are
Give us
Self West Orton, and
I'm Kyria Yoga. Well, not yoga. It's Kyria Wellness Studio, because I don't want to label it as yoga. But we're going to call the building 100, because we're 100 Market Street, which is
Yes.
perfect.
Amazing.
So we're working on some ideas of how to create it. Call
Some
it
kind of
100.
branding.
Some branding,
Sexy.
maybe.
I like it already.
so Self at 100.
Yeah.
Kyria at
Kyria at
100, and then whoever else comes in their little pods
Yeah.
at 100. So eventually we'll have
Yeah.
an Instagram page, which
You've got to
is
have like
100.
a whole, just one name for the whole
Yeah.
place, haven't you?
Yeah, you've
rather
got to
than
treat it a bit like Nike. So it's Nike Air Max, Nike Air Jordan.
Yes.
So you need 100's
Yeah.
going to be the brand name. So
Yeah.
That
start
wasn't
that.
what I was thinking about, but it makes sense
Yeah.
now you said it.
But yeah, it's exciting.
So I'm Kyria, Kyria
Yeah.
.wellness.studio on Instagram, and you're
Self West Orton. I feel like I want to change that a little bit though.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah.
Just change it to whatever you do feel like at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
People will find you.
Yeah.
I'll put all the handles on and stuff like that. Can I just say that I love you both? Amazing.
thank you.
I can't wait to come down to your yogas. I know I'm getting my ass kicked, and I'm up for it. And I'm definitely coming to do the 5 rhythms as well.
And can I just say
I'm on
thank
it.
you for like sharing that?
Thank
'cause
you,
it was
mate.
really
Yeah.
amazing.
You just both make me feel safe to do it as well, but you know I've got to lead by example as well, and there's a lot
So
of
I
men,
was
there's a lot of men
wondering-
out there, and
Yeah. So then I was wondering, is he going to keep this in? But then I was like, of course you are, because
Yeah.
you're Tim Marner.
I don't care. Yeah,
Good.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Appreciate you having us on. It was like,
Yeah. Thank
Amazing.
You.
You know
So
what, and I
exciting.
don't know why, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Because a slot opened up, some what's it, and I sat with it in my meditation, and then you both came up, and I went, right, Betty, get in touch with the girls, let's get on and
Thank
let's
you
share
so
this.
much. It's been amazing.
It's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
What we're saying.
Yeah.
Get down, everybody. Self, Kyria, 100, West Orton. See you later, motherfuckers. Goodbye.
Tim Marner, what, you're branding with the best. Tim Marner, what, you're branding with the best. Tim Marner, what, you're branding with the best. Tim Marner.